I'm Chantel Johnson, a member of the 2016 ICE Resin Design Team, and today I want to share with you a technique using iced enamels and repurposed scrapbooking letters to create a wonderful cover for our journal. Let's get started. As we get started, let's take a look at our finished journal. I want to show you that this word right here, hope, is what we're going to be concentrating on today with iced enamels and resin. Also on this journal, you'll notice that there are some die-cut copper butterflies. You could die cut with your die cutting machine with thin copper, or you could hand draw a design and use some metal shears. There's also vintage paper that has been resined to the cover. There is a technique here that gives an aged, darker appearance for our chipboard cover. And as we move on down, I have a wire running across with some ribbon to give it some softness, a faux druzy bezel that has our German glass glitter and resin on the top, and then here they've all kind of moved a bit, but different words that have been wire wrapped. So we have some metal words. We also have some resined paper tags that I've created along with some shells that I've picked up along on our trips to the beach. So let's get started on the iced enamel letters. So many of you have some old scrapbooking letters or some embellishments, perhaps they're wood. These are metal that have been coated with plastic, and I have quite a few of these. These were to be put on scrapbooking pages that never quite made it. So what I want to use today is these letters along with iced enamels to create our cover word. And what we're first going to do is we're going to take our letter and we're going to use flashing tape that you get at your home improvement store, and we're going to cover the letter. So we peel some back, we add our letter face down. And what's great about working on a craft mat is that when I get ready to turn this over to impress the letter shape, it's not going to stick. So we are going to first come and we're going to kind of miter our corners, and then I'm going to turn it over so I can get a deep impression of the letter. Let me stick this aside. I've got one more corner to do. And now I'm going to turn this over. And you can see that our H, and I'm actually using the word home today, our H is not very visible. So with a tourbillon, or what we call a paper stump here, tourbillon is the French term, we're going to use our paper stump and we are going to almost like deboss or emboss the letter with our flashing tape. And once we get that very smooth, we'll lift it from the craft mat. And that's why it's so good to work on these wonderful craft mats that are non-stick, because we can pull this up, I think, there we go, and we can turn it over, and now we can fold the back. We've mitered the corners, and then we can turn it over once again and use our tourbillon, and we can get our edges really, really defined. Oops, kind of got away from me there. And now it will be ready to be iced enamel. We have our word home, and it's been covered with the tape. With the paper stump, we have defined the edges, and now we're going to take our iced enamels medium with our little disposable brush, and I really like to do this all at one time. You could do one letter at a time, but if I come back with my iced enamel medium, and I'm going to coat each letter, and I can always go back if I don't get enough. Let me dip one more time here, which I think will get it. We don't want big pools of it anywhere either, because that's when our iced enamel relic powder may bubble. So we don't want that. We need a little bit more. And then here's where the fun can begin. You can actually use any of our relic powders, all of the different colors that we have, and create your very own custom letters. I chose to go with kind of a metallic, gilded look, if you will. And so I've used our copper, our gold, our pewter, and our ivory. And what I like to do here is I'm going to put these on this piece of paper, and hopefully you can see. Oops, we'll get that on there. And then with a small spoon, I'm just going to go from one color to another, and I'm going to go across my letters so that they're not totally uniformed, but they do carry the same color. And then I'll tap and I'll shake the excess using our heat gun or our crafting gun. We are going to create these iced enamel letters. let me finish getting the powder and I'll show you what we do
So
next.
what I've done here is after I sprinkled my powder, I've taken my heat gun and my embossing gun and I've heated it to the point that is melting, and the little powder granules are gone and it is going to be smooth. Let me heat one just a little bit more so that you can see. Okay. And there, it's melted. We'll let these cool and then we'll come back and we'll take our inks and our gilders paste and a little bit of sanding and create the finished product. Once the iced enamel metal letters have cooled, what you want to do is you want to take a file or a piece of sandpaper or even one of these big sanders and sand a little bit off the top. And then when you want to come back with either black ink or a gilders paste and kind of outline the letters to give definition, and then they're going to be ready for your journal. Here's one last look at our project with the finished word on the front of our journal. It has been adhered with ice resin and then sealed with ice resin on the top to give it that wonderful glass-like finish and to keep our iced enamels from coming off. For more ideas and inspirations and techniques, visit my blog, chanteljohnson.blogspot.com or iceresin.com. Thank you and have a great day.